Welcome back to another episode of the Canon while bringing the latest in comic book and superhero movie news. I'm your host Terry, and it's my job bringing you stuff that matters. And what matters today is Rotten Tomatoes. So we have a news story going out today that Rotten Tomatoes is delaying the release of Justice League score until midnight Thursday night, technically Friday morning. So on the surface, this sounded kind of sketchy, but when you look into it more, it's part of Rotten Tomatoes' new gimmick, I guess you would say, where they have a Facebook Live show and they're picking movies, I guess, every month that they will do a midnight reveal of their Rotten Tomatoes score. Oh my God. So let's get to the obvious thing. This is business. This is something that makes sense for them to do when they want people to watch their new show, blah, blah, blah. This isn't a special circumstance just because it's Justice League. So this happened last month with Bad Moms Christmas, which was their first movie that they did it for. So it's legit. It's happening, but it's weird for a couple reasons. So, number one, the embargo for Justice League lifts tonight, actually at 11:50. So that means by tomorrow you'll have the reviews out. You'll have them on YouTube and all that good stuff. Now that's still close to the release date, but still, you got about a good 2 day buffer. But now they're talking about releasing the Rotten Tomatoes score Thursday night. I'll have already saw the movie by then. Because as we all know, Friday is the wide release day. But these days, Thursday night, Nerd Night, is when you first are able to see the movie. And so, by releasing it midnight, you've got a group of people who've already saw Justice League. So it's like, what's the point in doing that? And so that's why it's weird to me. And then they Rotten Tomatoes did say it would coincide with the embargo lift, but that's not even true. Again, the embargo lifts tonight, not Thursday night. And so it clearly is a push for them to kind of promote their show. But speculating, some people think, well, this is just a way for DC to hide their reviews because they know they're bad and they don't want them to come out. So, a couple problems with that. Number one, Warner Brothers actually owns a part of Fandango, which owns Rotten Tomatoes. And so, if they were going to, do some funny business, they would be able to, except they've already let the social media go. So if the social media reactions are out there and they're positive, why would you hide the actual reviews? So that's the problem with that. But then also, once again, if you're going to hide the reviews, why would you release reviews after all these fans have seen it? Not just fan screenings, because like, people could lie. People honestly could lie about going to a fan screening. Nobody's lying when it comes out Thursday night and they got like 2-3 showings. A lot of people have gone and seen that movie already. And so at that point, it'd be no reason for you to hold the reviews. So there's that. Now, the one thing I will say is, why doesn't Rotten Tomatoes do this anyway? Why do they have to come out so early in advance? I think they should hold all the Rotten Tomatoes scores until that Friday, because people don't understand Rotten Tomatoes and they use it as an end-all be-all when it should not be that way. I know way too many people that look at the Rotten Tomatoes score, I'm not going to see that. Oh, I think I need to go see that because it's really high. That's not how it should work. Especially when you don't even know what the Rotten Tomatoes score is. It is not an average of the rating from critics. It is an average of who thinks it's fresh. Fresh is 6.5. That's a D. That's 65%. And I want to rant so bad on Rotten Tomatoes. And this kind of gives me a reason to, because not only are they intentionally deceitful with their Rotten Tomatoes score, but now they're being kind of greasy and slimy by saying, hey, you guys like our scores. Well, guess what? Come watch our show at midnight if you want to see the score. Otherwise, we're not releasing it. And so that's rubbing people the wrong way, to say the least. Now, there's, like I said, people that think Justice League is in some type of cahoots and blah, blah, blah. That's not exactly the case. Can't really prove that. So, it's interesting, though. It is interesting. And the one last thing I'll say is I want to see if that affects people going to see the movie. Because I firmly believe if there was no Rotten Tomatoes score, people would go just to see the movie. Opening weekend. And people that are not looking to go or want to save money, Rotten Tomatoes just gives them a reason to. And it makes no sense, because looking at a very low Rotten Tomatoes score doesn't mean I won't like the movie. And so me or another person might go to that movie, and so what that it's a 5% on Rotten Tomatoes. Hey, I like that movie. I'm glad I spent my money to go see that movie. I might buy that movie when it comes out. So people are giving themselves reasons with Rotten Tomatoes to rob themselves of that whole experience, and I don't think that's right. So anyway, go to the comment section. What do you think? Is Justice League having a delay Rotten Tomatoes score a little fishy? Are you happy? Do you think people would go out to see the movie just because they want to see it? Comment, let me know. Thumbs up, subscribe, and if you heard it, it's official canon.